Hey everybody, welcome to Room Brothers. One of the easiest way to check the condition of your car or motorcycle's health is by inspecting the condition of the air filter assembly, and that is what we have right here. Doing this maintenance every time you service your machine ensures that your vehicle runs smoother for longer periods of time. It's very easy, requires minimum amount of tools. You can do this at your home and save yourself from spending a load of money at the service centers. Interested? Stick to the end, watch and learn from the content. If you are an old subscriber, you already know that we have been working on a motorcycling customization and modification project called the Suzuki 𝗔𝘂𝘁𝗶, which is a 150cc motorcycle, trying to modify it and customize it so that it suits to the times and season that we are living in 2025. If you are somebody new, I'll post the cards somewhere up here. You can go and check it out. So just imagine that you have the motorcycle right here and the air filter assembly on top of it, just for the sake of the explanation purposes. So step number one, check and inspect the air filter. If this is in good condition, clean it and reinstall it. If not, replace it. But just make sure that while you are cleaning it, you don't blow the air from this direction. Instead, you blow the air and clean it from this direction. This ensures that the dust doesn't remain in the air filter, rather you are flushing it out from the air filter. Step number two, check and inspect for any signs of water seepage or moisture inside the air filter box assembly. If you find water seepage, then water is probably entering from the top side. It could be through the rains or while you're water washing. Step number three, check and inspect for oil in the air filter chamber. And if you find it, then there are bigger reasons why this is happening. So let me explain it briefly without getting too deep or technical into the topic. Reason number one is PCV, or positive crankcase ventilation. Now this system works slightly different in a motorcycle compared to a car. So let me show it to you on a schematic diagram briefly. Now this is a schematic diagram of a motorcycle showing you how the air is entering through the air filter chamber into the carburetor, then into the engine. And when the engine spins at high RPM, there is pressure that is created inside the engine casing, and that needs to be vented out safely. That is where positive crankcase ventilation, or PCV mechanism, is used. And in case of a motorcycle, you have a rubber hose running from here into the engine casing, so that when pressure reaches to a certain extent, oil comes and collects into the air filter chamber. And in case of a car, you have a PCV valve which activates when the pressure reaches to a certain extent. There is nothing wrong here. That is a safety measure or fail proof that is provided by the manufacturer so that the engine doesn't blow up. So all you have to do is clean the oil at periodic intervals. Then reason number two is blown out piston rings, and because of that the oil comes and collects into the air filter chamber. Then there is reason number three, which is accumulation of sludge in the engine, and because of that too the oil comes and gets collected into the air filter chamber. All these three things are the reasons behind finding oil in the air filter chamber. Now the reason number 2 and 3 requires a professional and a technical person to solve the issues, because you need to open up your engine. Now, why is this important for you guys to learn, even though this is a bit technical? Let's say I'm on a road trip on a motorcycle or on a car, and I need to service my machine in the middle of my trip. Whether it's an authorized service center or at a third party workshop, it doesn't matter. If you guys don't have this knowledge, then workshops or mechanics can easily manipulate you and steal your hard-earned money. And because now you follow and learn from Room Brothers, no one can do that. So while dismantling the air filter assembly from the motorcycle, I didn't notice any signs of water, moisture or oil in the air filter box assembly. And just to ensure it, what I have done is I have kept this aside on an upside down position in this way. Usually it is in this way on the motorcycle. So what I have done is I have placed it this way and left it maybe a month or so, just to make sure that there is no sediments or there is no oil or water accumulated inside it. And after 1 month, I just checked it and look what I found. Let me show it to you closely. So there is nothing to worry here, just because I know the history of this motorcycle right before I purchased it. And the engine of this motorcycle has been done at the service center from a top notch and experienced mechanics. So in that regards, I have no concerns. So what possibly could have happened is, while they are doing the engine and the overhauling, they might have missed the cleaning the air filter assembly thoroughly, because this motorcycle is 8 years old. So probably during the course of its time, it will collect a small amount of oil in the air filter assembly, which is blown away from the engine head. And that's probably the reason why they have done the engine in the first place. So nothing to worry here. So let me clean the air filter box assembly thoroughly from the inside and outside. So you see the impurities here. So whatever gunk and dirt that gets collected in this chamber settles down in this drain plug, and that is what you are seeing right here. And there is also a sediment of dirt collected here, so which we need to clean it thoroughly. Again, this cannot be done in a fast paced moving service centers, whether it's an authorized one or a third party one. So let's clean it thoroughly. And let me also clean this rectifier and starter relay assembly, because this is also covered in dirt. So this chamber which we just disassembled holds the battery here, the rectifier unit here, and the starter relay here, which is all filled with gunk and dirt all over it. So let's clean this as well. All the parts have been thoroughly cleaned and washed from inside and outside. So upon washing and cleaning the air filter chamber, there is an interesting observation that I have done. Let me show it to you guys. Let's assume that you have the rear wheel of the motorcycle right here, and this is where the air filter chamber gets mounted onto the frame of the motorcycle. Then you have the carburetor, engine, and the other parts of the motorcycle. So even though the rear wheel of the motorcycle has the mud guard or the mud flap, the extra amount of dirt and grime that gets splashed onto the motorcycle is getting collected on the bottom section of the air chamber assembly, and because of that the bottom section of the air chamber is all scratched and messed up. And I have an interesting idea to save this part from all the dirt and grime that gets splashed onto this one. So let me show it to you guys closely. And this is where all the dirt and grime is getting splashed onto, and you can see how messed up it is. And over a course of time, if we don't address or protect this part, this will eventually get damaged, and then you have to replace the whole chamber. So we're not gonna do that. Instead, we're gonna protect this so that this chamber can last many more years to come. What we have done here is we have taken a thin piece of the rubber sheet, cut the template in the form of the air filter chamber and paste it. This is very effective, and at the same time it comes at a fraction of the price, and this will protect the air filter chamber bottom section from all the scratches that you see here. So this customization will save the bottom section of this air chamber for years to come and will keep this in a pristine condition. And that is why I tell, when it comes to customizing and modifying a machine, you got to identify the problem and rectify it at a fraction of the price without disturbing the mechanics of the machine. This doesn't mean that you apply this solution to every machine that you see. It doesn't work that way. You got to identify the defect in the machine and then work the solution according to it. So let me get back to you guys once I have mounted this onto the chamber. Check and inspect these rubber gaskets and if necessary replace them. One on the bottom section of the groove that is provided right here, and then other on the top section of the groove that is provided right here. These rubber gaskets prevent water and foreign bodies from entering into the air filter by providing a sealant on the top section and on the bottom one. Make sure that the rubber gaskets are properly seated all the way around on the both sections. And for those of you who are wondering what is this is a special tool called the hook and pick, and yes, I have different varieties of them for different designated jobs. This tool hooks and picks items from areas where your hands cannot reach easily. And this is why I always tell you, don't become an automotive enthusiast just because you have a car or motorcycle or a social media platform. No, most of the social media influencers nowadays have zero knowledge about these things. Ironically, I have never seen an authorized service center or a third party workshop use these tools while they work on their machines, at least in India. Whenever you are cleaning and replacing your air filter, make sure that you place it back in the right direction. As you can see here, this is specified up, which means you should not place the air filter like this, rather it goes like this. Then the direction is also specified here, which means it goes this way. So this is how the air filter fits. It doesn't matter what motorcycle you drive and what cc you drive. Every motorcycle has been specified by the manufacturer which direction it goes. And placing the air filter in the wrong direction will result in a lot of problems in your machine, whether it's a car or it's a motorcycle. So pay attention every time you do this periodic maintenance. So that no dust enters while I reinstall this on the motorcycle. So as you guys have seen, each part, bolt, nut, plastics have not just been cleaned but restored back to factory condition. And not only that, we have even customized all these parts in certain areas which are now even better than the manufacturer. You remember what we have done to the under part of the air filter chamber? Things like that. So this amount of detailing and care can never be shown in an authorized service center or a third party workshop, no matter where you do it, unless you show such kind of care to your machine, because this requires patience and some elbow grease. And on top of that, I'm showing you guys how to do all this sitting in the comfort of your own homes. It could be in your garage or even your parking lot. I'm sure you guys would agree with me. That's it for today, guys. As always, ride hard, drive safe, eat healthy, live right, and do good. The mantra of Room Brothers. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.